intersection of the Clintons and the Bushes in Arkansas?
Sure. When the Congress passed the Boland Amendment, they cut off funding for the Contras, and therefore Bill Casey and George Bush decided that the way they could raise money to illegally buy guns and armaments for the Iranian Contras was to traffic literally millions of dollars worth of cocaine into the United States from South America, where they would sell it, convert it to cash, and then buy weapons. And they began importing into Louisiana and Texas. The problem was that they could not get the cooperation of state officials, so they were constantly being harassed by the state, by the Texas Rangers in Texas and by the state police in Louisiana. They had no such problem in Arkansas because they were able to make a deal with Governor Bill Clinton. So George Bush and Bill Clinton essentially worked together to import drugs into the United States where they were sold. Barry Seal was a flamboyant and well-known kind of drug pilot for the Central Intelligence Agency, and he was adept at flying very low. He had a plane that was specially equipped for flying cocaine. And there's a movie coming out shortly involving Tom Cruise, in which Tom Cruise improbably will play Barry Seal. One of the consultants of that movie is a fellow named Daniel Hopsicker, who's a great author, and who wrote a book called Barry and the Boys, which really lays bare the Clintons and the Bushes working together on drug importation. And after all of this work on the movie, they called him in and said, well, we're going to leave the question as to who killed Barry ambiguous at the end. The government has always contended that the Colombian cartel killed Barry because he double-crossed them. In fact, I believe Barry Seal was murdered on the orders of Oliver North, working for George Bush. George Bush, as you will read in my book in January, Barry Seal went to George Bush. He's working for the government. He's flying millions of dollars worth of drugs into the country, and the IRS is on his ass because he's made so much money. And he tells Bush, get the IRS off my ass, or I'm going to reveal the fact that George W. and Jeb were caught flying a kilo into Opelika, and the DEA has all this on videotape, and I have a copy of the tape. 4 days later, Barry Seal was dead. And when they found his body in his wallet, he had a piece of paper with the phone number for the direct line at the executive office building for George Herbert Walker Bush. So, like the Clinton story, I think the story of the Bushes entails murder.
You're
more than you bargained for?
No, that's perfect. The Bush book comes out in January. Do you think Jeb will still be in the race come January?
Well, he is certainly moving backwards. A new poll in Iowa has him at 6%. If Donald Trump has accomplished nothing else, he has correctly branded Jeb as low energy and, frankly, not terribly bright. Now, as you know, he ran twice for governor. He won once for governor before winning, and he ran against Lawton Chiles. Chiles did very extensive opposition research. He uncovered Jeb's involvement in drug trafficking, both at Andover, in college, in Houston after he got out of college, and in Miami. He correctly decided that information did not need to be used, that he could beat Bush without it. That package went to a fellow named Jim Krogh, who was his kind of good old boy, right-hand man political operative, and fortunately for posterity, Mr. Krogh gave a copy of the package to me. So the book will be a total expose of Jeb and his fraudulent involvement in a number of totally bogus land deals. 5 of his partners are still in prison from various transactions. The way that he profiteered as governor, we're going to point out that he not only made money on Obamacare, but he also makes money off Obama phones, because Jeb Bush holds stock in a company called TracFone, where he is partners with the Mexican billionaire Carlos Slim. And then just before becoming a candidate for president, he transferred that stock to one of his sons so he wouldn't have to report it. Unfortunately for him, the notary public that he used is an active member of the Republican Party and a good friend of mine, and she kept copies of the documents.